I moved to California like 6 years ago, I started working for my friends. All had clothing companies, and I would play around and shoot with them for fun. And then I started working for Rain 2 years ago, and they were the first people that really gave me a shot.
So with Rain and the other companies that you shoot with, how did you first, get connected with those people that are in your network?
I think I'm just lucky being where I am in Costa Mesa that it's like everyone kind of knows everyone. And I think it's all about where I am and who I know, and that people are willing to take a shot on someone creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, your photography evokes such a mood and desire for like adventure and, wanting to run wild and free. How do you think that you accomplish that?
My main goal has always been to have it like not be a photo shoot.
Yeah.
I've always said that I want it to be like just a normal day, like hanging out with friends. And so what's normally happening is that we are on an adventure, and I'll go places and I'll shoot the whole way there and I'll shoot the whole way back. And I never hire makeup artists. I always want everything to be like whatever you show up wearing is what I'm shooting you in. I want it to be like as raw and real and fun as possible.
Where do you think that you found the inspiration for those types of shoots?
I think a lot of it was my own life, and that I wanted to capture what me and my friends were normally doing, and that's just naturally what people wanted to see.
Yeah.
Pretty girls having fun, so.
Exactly. I know sometimes I look through your photos and your Instagram feed and everything, and I think like, were they just hanging out and like all this just happens? Like, is that kind of how it goes?
It is, and if it's not, then I try to make it like that.
Yeah.
Like even when I show up to a shoot, like to shoot a girl that I've never met, I like to like hang out and kick it for a little bit, and then just shoot her like sitting on her couch having a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Because I think that things that are more natural get more of an appeal.
Yeah.
I've definitely got like a gypsy vintage flowered dress like kind of style, and then I've got like a very like ripped jeans, rugged ripped t-shirts, high tops kind of style. So I think it just depends on the day and the weather.
Where do you think it kind of comes from, those two styles?
Well, when I grew up in Minneapolis, we had like very much of both of those, and I was kind of a hippie when I was younger, so I've got that like still like kind of embedded in me. And then my dad builds vintage motorcycles. So yeah, he's awesome. So when I was younger, I was kind of always in the garage and like always had ripped jeans. This is one of my favorite all-time shirts. It's got a rip back here that I'm so sad about, but it's kind of cool.
Gives character.
Yeah, it gives a character. There you go. My friends started a vintage company called Vintage Supply Co. And I actually did a shoot for them, and they gave me a whole bunch of stuff, and luckily got this one from them.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So it definitely goes with your whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a staple for sure. And those are the very other sides of me.
Yeah. So kind of the floral side.
Yeah. I just love flowers. I think my mom wears a lot of flowers. I think that might be where I get it, but I just think there's like nothing better than a girl in a flowered sundress.
So since you were saying that you wear hats all the time, you have about 40 of them, I'm sure this one has a good story.
Yeah, this one I got on the way to Mammoth. My friends were getting married and I was shooting their wedding, and I was almost there, and there was a little store at the side that said Indian jewelry, and I like screamed my name. So I pulled over, went in, and bought this hat for like $60, and it's like, this is the kind of hat that you have for life.
Yeah, I love
this one. And the old like buffalo nickel that's on it.
Yeah, that's
a good one.
Pretty legit.
Yeah. This one I got at Goodwill, actually, in Minneapolis. I went back to visit for one summer and found it there for $5.
Wow.
And wore it the entire trip, took it home, and comes out all the time. I mean, this is just like 1/10 of a collection that I have, but every piece of jewelry that I have has like a very good story. This one, my mom gave to me before I went on a trip to Costa Rica, and it's a bracelet. It's called a clava, and it's an Irish bracelet that she got in Ireland when she was 16.
Wow.
And this one, my uncle back in the 60s started a jewelry store called Tucson Traders, and he gave me this one about a year ago.
That is
so
cool.
these stay. This one stays on daily. I haven't taken this one off in years. And this one I got at an estate sale.
Really?
From an old lady, and she told me that she had bought it from a man who was with the Indian that made it.
No way.
Yeah. So
see, that's what I love about this stuff, like the stories behind it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
like,
what I love about. I've always said that like I'm not a diamond kind of girl. Like my wedding ring, I might as well be turquoise.
Okay, so your jewelry pieces have really good stories, but tell me about your prized possession.
I've got cameras that have a lot of stories as well, and this one is the one that my dad gave me when I was 14. It's a camera that he bought for my mom. My parents met. My dad put her on the back of his motorcycle from Newport, and they rode up to Santa Cruz and started living there. And the day that they got there, he bought her this camera.
Wow.
And I know it's great. And so this is the original strap that he put on it for her. And then when I turned 14 and told him I was into photography, my mom didn't really use it anymore, so he gave it to me. And it's got a natural light leak now, so if you ever see those photos that have like the orange strip, and I mean there's apps for it now, of course, but this is the real deal. It's got a re-up.
Cool. Every time there's like a little light leak.
So I mean, I use it all the time.
So tell me kind of what you wear when you're shooting.
I try to stay as comfortable as possible because I'm always in the weirdest positions, bent over, bending, climbing. So I mean, I'm like a blue jeans, white t-shirt kind of girl when it comes to that. So these are already as like ruined as it could get.
Yeah.
So if they get dirty, they get more ripped, like that's already where they are. I wear
awesome.
these a lot.
Talk to me a little bit about the book that you're working on with your sister, Erin Rose.
So this is so exciting. My sister and I have both always been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I've always been shooting photos and she's always been writing. She wrote a story about leaving Minneapolis, and it's written from her perspective about what it was like to leave her first love there. And it's called Love Is Not a Town. So we shot it in Minneapolis, and it's basically like an adult picture book. Like it's short stories with photos that match it. So we're talking to publishing companies, and
Really?
yeah, hopefully it's fun because it's the first personal project that I've had in a long time that is allowing me to be creative in totally my own way.
Another thing I noticed was when Free People launched their Inspiration Picks campaign, they handpicked you to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Tell me how that all happened.
That to me, that was a huge one, because you never see yourself as like doing really well, you know, like the same way you see yourself every day and you look the same every day, and then one day you wake up and you're like, how did I get 70 years old and how do I look like this? And when that happened, I had a point where I was like, how did I get here? When did that happen?
Yeah.
They were one of the biggest brands that I've ever wanted to shoot for.
That's
so
really cool.
That was huge. And then when they contacted me to do that, it was like, it's still, I feel like that was like months ago, and I feel like it still hasn't even like set in.
When you talk about, you know, kind of waking up one day and realizing that all of a sudden you're here, what can you say about like keeping your head down and like always working to just get to where you want to be?
That's where I always try to keep myself as humble as possible, because I don't see myself as doing like as well as I would hope to sometimes. And so I think that as long as you stay true to being yourself, and as long as you stay on the road that you want to be on, and you're a good person and you keep working, then I naturally think that what you want to happen will happen on its own.